Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live for Mindset Monday. I know it's been a minute since we've been here, so I do apologize. Um, Life, business has gotten in the way, and we've been doing this for what, 4 years now?
Yeah, has it been that long, man? Like,
It has, yeah, four years. So sometimes,
kind of on accident too.
yeah, completely on accident, which is funny. But what's not on accident is we're gonna tell you guys something that a lot of people kind of miss. Okay, if you want to really build momentum, if you want to really, really attack life and get way more out of it, focus on your early morning wins. And I'll tell you guys why, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. And then I'm sure Dave has very similar thoughts, but maybe he thinks about something else differently. When you start off with wins early, okay, you're already elevating yourself. You're in a better mood. Okay, which means it's going to be a little easier for you to tackle the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And if you're starting off early, you're getting a head start on the day, which means that you might not have to run the day till 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And hey, look, there's sometimes you do. I know there's sometimes I have to. All right. I think one of the biggest benefits of 75 hard, all right, at least for me, is there's a planning element to it. You have to plan that first workout super early, right? You get up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, you go hit a workout in. Now you have energy for your whole day. That's win number one, right? And then if you can start at work a little bit earlier, get some wins under your belt there too. Well, now you're stacking these little wins and it carries momentum through your day, right? And by you harnessing that momentum and keeping that momentum all through the day, you're going to get a lot more done than if you woke up later, didn't get your early start, and now you're just fighting to squeeze everything in. At least that's my perspective. That's how it's worked for me, time in, time again, and time again. Dave, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, 100% right, man. I agree with everything you're saying. Some things I want to add to that is, and you and I were talking about before here, those of you that know me and know me close, I grew up in the restaurant industry. From my dad and his spot, from my own spot. I worked in a pizzeria for on and off for 18 years. Um, so in that industry, it's a late night industry typically, right? Like you're not 9 to 5 on that. You're usually 11 to 8, 11 to 9. I used to work till midnight. My dad's spot was 24 hours. Okay. There used to be times when I would be in high school and I would come in at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Because
The
something
graveyard shift.
yeah, but my dad was also smart and he knew I was awake, young and dumb and being out partying. Be like, hey man, you want to go in for a couple hours at 1 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, sure. I ain't got anything better to do. So go in late night when the freaks come out at night, right? But but no, like a lot with that is not tackling the morning. My mornings were like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., like waking up. But I think even more importantly, when you really break it down, the, looking at it, and I think a bad habit that a lot of people make, they just wake up and then they just get going right away. They don't take any time. They don't develop a win. They don't have a structure to when they win the morning to kind of get your body and your mind rolling. I don't think it matters if you wake up at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 4 a.m. like I do. I think the important thing is, like Jonathan was saying before, is what are you doing to get that small win? For me, it's quick 15 to 20 minutes of meditation, real quick, some prayer time, getting my mind right, getting some fluids in, and then right off to the gym and then beating myself up for an hour. And then by the time 6:30, quarter 7 comes around, those are some pretty significant wins of the day. It creates momentum. If that's the physically most taxing thing that I have to do of my day, which is kind of taxing on the mind, then it does make everything easier. Now, what happens when you miss those days? I can tell you from experience, I don't feel the best, right? Like I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like anxiety or the fact that, oh my God, I didn't do this. So everything's falling apart. And you'll focus on that one thing. And then just like a house of cards, that whole deck is going to fall. And yes, that's my own fault or your own fault. But again, that's the importance of getting that win out of the way. A small win, even mundane, done all the time. It just does so much for your mind, for your physical, for your mental, for your spiritual to get that out of the way in the morning.
I
And
love it.
Yeah, man. And I was going to add to that too. That's one of the reasons why, like, I have this. Is some of you guys that saw that crazy challenge I put up for, 15 pounds in the next 25 days. One of the reasons is, yeah, like, of course, I want to look my best before I go on vacation. I'm 45 years old. Probably, even as I sit here right now, I'm probably in better shape than 99% of people anyway, right? Like, that's just a fact. That's not talking shit. Those are statistics. But I want to be the best version of myself going in, but also feeling a little stale, right? Like, just a quick momentum blast. Hey, it's going to get me to the Outer Banks, keep that momentum, reset there, come back, and probably just jump right back in 75 hard when I get back. So that's a segue of creating wins, spending some time with my family. I'll probably still do most of the same stuff that I do down there that I typically do anyway, and then come right back in and carry that momentum right through.
Yeah, I tell you, like I've completed 75 hard, I think, last week.
Nice.
Okay. There's been very little difference. Yeah, I had a few drinks, but I will tell you, like I've tried to do at least one workout a day, right? And drinking the water, doing all the other things, and I feel great, right? And now, like you said, I'm gonna go back and fine tune it because I want to continue to lift pretty heavy and knock this out and just be in really good shape. But do I need to be doing the whole 75 routine? No, not right now. I'm gonna hit that back when I after my 40th. I'm gonna go do phase one. Why? Because I want to keep that discipline muscle sharp. I want that discipline edge, in there. And I got to tell you, it really helps me focus and lock down everything that I need to lock down, especially when I'm doing things with my company. Like, it is a nice little anchor, right? To just come back to whenever you need it and just to brush up on it. And if you use it that way, you're really going to make a lot of progress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, these principles work with anything, right? Get your wins done early, right? Build that momentum. If you feel good after you knocked out a couple things, keep going. Like, I'll give you an example. I didn't plan to do half of what I did yesterday around the house. Like, it was a beautiful day. I wanted to be out on the boat. We were on the boat Saturday, right? Went to church. When we got back, we started knocking things out. I did so much. I just kept knocking out another thing and another thing. And now, like today, I actually feel somewhat accomplished. Like, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
It's harnessing that momentum. You guys got to do it in faith, in fitness, in your finances. If you can do that in every area of your life, you're really going to build up and make a lot of progress. And that progress is going to be long lasting because you have the habits developed underneath them. That is actually the driving force behind it.
Yeah, I want to add one more thing to that too, and it's about these morning wins. And 75 hard kind of keeps you away from it, but when you're off, it's really easy to dip down that path. Guys, keep that morning list. I make a morning list for the weekends, right? Like, kind of like a weekend momentum list that has to go on. It doesn't matter if it's things to do around my home, even time with my family and kids, and still get some business things done. I think a lot of times when the weekends come, right, like, you'll see, especially when it comes to fitness, oh, my cheat meals on Saturday or my cheat weekends on Saturday and Sunday, I'll go out and drink all day and eat 10,000 calories and all that craziness. And it's like, yo, man, you just killed the whole week of results. Like,
yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But I think it's important, man, to keep that momentum going. Even with small wins on the weekend, if you don't wake up as early, that's fine, right? Like, I typically don't. I still get up like around 6, sometimes 7. If I really want to sleep in, 8 o'clock, but still get the mind going, get the body going, creating some momentum. It's really easy to fall back into that trap on the weekends. It's like, all right, I won 5 days. So now the other 2 days I get to sit around and do nothing. And then come Monday, that's where it's like, oh man, I gotta wake up on Monday. Like, this sucks, dude. Like, what am I doing? Keep that momentum swing going on the weekends, man. It's important. I create a little list of 5 things. They don't even have anything to do with like business or normal week stuff, but it's like, hey, if I do these things on the weekend, it's a win for me.
Yeah. I love it. Well, you guys heard it here first, and we'll see you on Financial Fitness Friday. Take care. God bless.
Be great. Let's go.